And the British Prime Minister is in Northern Ireland. Rishi Sunak is there to sell the new post-Brexit trading deal clinched with the European Union on Monday. The new agreement aims to resolve tensions which the Northern Ireland Protocol caused and addresses concerns of the Unionists in Northern Ireland who fear any loosening of ties with London. Let's take a listen to what the UK Prime Minister had to say earlier.
Get this framework implemented. If we get the executive back up and running here, Northern Ireland is in the unbelievably special position, unique position in the entire world, European continent, in having privileged access, not just to the UK home market, which is enormous, fifth biggest in the world, but also the European Union single market. Nobody else has that. That's like the world's most exciting economic zone.
Joining me now is Angela Diffley, our International Affairs Editor. The key question is what happens now, Angela, and will the Unionists buy what Rishi Sunak is indeed selling?
They are considering it at the moment and looking at the details. They have got some key things which they wanted. Trade is now a lot easier, or will be a lot easier under this Windsor framework between Northern Ireland and Britain. That is something they want. There'll be much less paperwork. They also, in Northern Ireland, will now have more say on which EU laws apply, because of course Northern Ireland remains within the European single market for goods, so food, medicine, that sort of thing. So they've got that. What they hoped to get as well and didn't get is that Northern Ireland will now remain under the jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice, and that's something the Unionists do not like, and that's something that they will have to compromise on. There's been a lot of compromise on all sides, obviously. It should be noted that Boris Johnson, who signed what was the Northern Ireland Protocol, this Windsor framework will replace it. He knew perfectly well the Northern Ireland Protocol was very problematic and largely left the details for other people to sort out. This Rishi Sunak is not just hoping that the DUP will agree to it. He is also hoping that the most Eurosceptic wing of his own Conservative Party will not create too many problems. And so far, they have made mostly positive signs. There was a fear that they might be obstructive. Either way, he says there will be a vote in Westminster. That wasn't obligatory, but there will be a vote in Westminster, and with the support of the Labour Party and much of his own party, it will probably go through.
So what does this deal do for both the UK and Brussels?
Very importantly, it does mean the beginning of a new chapter in relations, because relations between the European Union and the United Kingdom since Brexit have been very strained, rancorous even, not good. And so this gives the opportunity of a new chapter. And the mood music yesterday, when the announcement was made, was much more warm. And that in itself is significant. There are some very specific gains for Britain, because Britain has suffered considerably since this was signed. Britain is hoping for better cooperation now on the issue of migrants crossing the Channel into Britain, because the European Union had pretty much ended its cooperation on that after Britain chose of its own accord to leave the European Union. Britain has also been locked out of a very, very lucrative science funding programme run by the European Union. It's not a European Union member, and so it was excluded from it. And that has caused real hardship amongst the scientific community in Britain, and they are desperate to get back into that. So that's likely to happen. Very importantly as well, Washington made it very clear that there would be no trade deal with the United States until this Northern Ireland situation was sorted out. And the other thing was that there really was a possibility, which seems unreal, that there might be a trade war between Britain, the United Kingdom and the European Union. So that now has been put on the sorted. It's fair to say, I think, that the European Union did make concessions because it got a very good deal the first time around and feared very much that the United Kingdom might become a booming Singapore-on-Thames. That has so not happened that the European Union are in a position to be a little bit more flexible on the very hard implementation of the rules in that first accord.
Yes, they were certainly negotiating from a position of strength, Angela, but what will the deal change? What does it mean for the people in Northern Ireland?
For the people of Northern Ireland, number one, Northern Ireland has a devolved government. Some issues are organised in Westminster, but very many issues, health, education, are organised in the Northern Ireland Assembly. The DUP, the very pro-British party, suspended their participation in that assembly last February, and so it has been not working since, because it cannot work unless every party is involved in it, and so that has been suspended. There has been effectively no government in Northern Ireland for issues such as health and education. That is very important. It will be 25 years soon, the anniversary in April of the Good Friday Peace Accord. It would look very bad and be very bad for the people of Northern Ireland if their devolved assembly was not working at the time of that 25th anniversary. Aside from that, this will also, it's hoped, unlock investment, which has stalled amidst this mess. And as Rishi Sunak says, there very many businesses were very keen to get this sorted because it might give Northern Ireland the best of both worlds. It will be the only place where there is access to the European Union single market and Britain's market.
Thank you for that.